Hello everyone and welcome to today's No FOMO Charts Stocks and Crypto TA live stream. It is August 12th, 2023, Saturday about 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time here in the USA. So another big week, last week in this upcoming week. First off, my condolences and I just hope that the survivors of the Lahaina Maui, Hawaii fire disaster are getting the support and donations that they need. So if you have any resources, time, or anything, funds to help support and donate the survivors of Lahaina, Maui, please consider doing so. Okay, for stocks, we're still in earnings season right now, and it's going to be retail week. It's retail week upcoming. We have Home Depot reporting earnings, Cisco, Walmart. Those are the big three. Some of the smaller names, Estee Lauder, Tapestry, Valvoline. I put Jack in the Box and Wendy's up here just because it's interesting to get some fast food perspective, and Roblox as well, and Plug Power. More companies. But for the most part, finance, it's over. Tech stocks, earnings reports, that's over now. And now it's going into everybody else. Economic data releases, we have retail sales and core retail sales, manufacturing index, FOMC meeting minutes from last month, and unemployment claims as well. Also have industrial production and building permits. So just quick recap of last week's data. CPI was essentially flat at 0.2%. PPI was up a little bit, I believe at 0.3 or 0.4. Let me actually check that right now. But it's still going down. A little slight uptick on that PPI. The PPI was 0.3%, yes. But just 0.110 basis points above the expectation. So inflation is still going down, but we're not at the 2% target for PCE inflation yet. Now, why did the market go down? Well, we have earnings season. It's been mixed. Also, the Fitch rating agency here in the USA, they downgraded the United States of America, basically the government, financial institutions, down to a AA+ rating. So it's down from AAA rating. That is bad. That happened about a week or two ago. And that's due to future fiscal deterioration over the next 3 years, they're forecasting, and because of debt ceiling negotiations. Now, separately, Moody's rating agency downgraded 10 USA banks, the credit ratings, all these banks listed here, over credit problems forecasting, right? So these are two major reasons why there's a sell-off. You also have bad earnings from, let's say, mixed earnings from Apple, etc. And you add these two on, this is why we're getting short down in the markets, especially tech, plus a technical resistance on the charts as well. On the crypto side, PayPal launched their own stablecoin, PayPal USD. Now, I went to their website to go look at it, and it seems like it is active right now, but it could face regulatory hurdles in the future. Right? So they're launching right now in the face of SEC lawsuits against Coinbase and Binance. Former FTX crypto CEO, Sam Bankman-Fried, whatever his name is, bail is revoked and is headed for jail before his trial, right? And this because he did criminal fraud, right? Due to alleged witness tampering. CFTC charges some residents of Florida, Louisiana, Arkansas for crypto fraud and scams. Investment scams, so beware of those types of scams online. Crypto custodian Prime Trust company is poised for potential layoff, and that could be bad. They're a crypto storage facility company basically. U.S. senators and Coinbase lawmakers also calling on the SEC to dismiss the Coinbase lawsuit, which who knows if that's actually going to get dismissed or not. And ARK Investments Bitcoin ETF, as well as others, were moved on to the public input phase where the public's allowed to comment on and look at their ETF application and what's inside. And that's open for 3 to 5 weeks. All right, quite a bit of news there, right? Because if you've been in stocks long enough, you know the market moves according to news, especially if you're a day trader. So we're starting off our stock segment. If you have a request or question, just let me know in the live chat or in the YouTube comments in the future. And welcome everybody, streaming live here on TradingView, YouTube, Twitch. We also have a Twitter X group. So start off with the S&P 500, SPY. What's going on here? We did have this pullback. Tech has been pulling back worse. But as you can see in the dotted trend line, we didn't quite hit my bull target of 480. But we did have this bearish divergence that I was calling for several weeks. And you've seen it happen. You have a double top M. You have a double top on the RSI. We switched to the weekly. We finally got our evening star pattern. Now, we were losing momentum on the MACD histogram. Now, what I don't want people to get the wrong idea is I'm not talking about day trading or scalping time frames. If you go to a 1 minute, if you go into a 2 minute or a 5 minute, let's zoom in here. It's a different story. It's a different story. Indicators might be saying, oh, we might be oversold on certain time frames, right? In this one Friday morning or Wednesday, right? When I zoom out as a swing trader, I'm not thinking about those types of things. I'm thinking about the larger, broader trend, not microscopic price moves. So on this H4, we did lose this uptrend. You can see in the dotted lines. Rising wedge pattern, textbook, that's going to fall out. It's going to fall out. It's not floating in the middle of nowhere. It's resting on EMAs. There could be Bollinger Band. There could be pivots as well. So there are a lot of reasons why this is looking like it's here. But mainly tracking some of the tech stocks. So resistance, where is it? 450. Support is just below 444. You could box the price in very simply like that. Now, what we do want to watch out for is any good news coming up this week if it has a lower high bounce effect. Because we are still in the uptrend. One pullback does not mean the market is over. We're still in this uptrend. We can pull back all the way down to 441 on a swing trading time frame, H4, and still be fine. Because as you just saw a couple minutes earlier, the RSI is not extremely oversold on any of those time frames. They bounced up into the middle. And this 15 minutes, not even oversold. It's literally 52 RSI. Still under there in the downtrend. So I'm on a H1. If I was a day trader, swing trader, I'll understand, okay, it's downtrended, down crossed here on this H1 time frame. Maybe looking for one more leg down. Short's going to try to attack right into that 200 EMA zone. Then swing traders might try to defend that on the way back up. So in the weekly, do want to just caution people here is that there's plenty of room still to fall down. We can hopefully not fall down this far to 410, but it could go all the way down to 423, 431, etc. Okay, but this evening star triple candle pattern is not good here. That's not good. Temporary resistance below 460. Moving on to QQQ. Now the big pullback. You can see here, QQQ had a major pullback, 2 red candles 2 weeks in a row. We were in the overbought RSI territory, losing this momentum. That's how you know it's kind of time to short. The MACD was also already downtrending with the double top on the price, about 386. Now the daily is not even oversold. If we look at weekly, it's not even extremely oversold here either. So, it just seems like people taking their profit and algorithms and whatnot, defending the bottoms here, the relative bottoms of these 5 minute or 1 minute oversolds. But we are seeing some support here above 365, and it is tightening into a symmetrical triangle on this 5 minute. On the 1 hour and the H4, it did touch this 200 EMA of about 365. So what I was saying about 1 or 2 weeks ago, watch out for this lower high and then watch out for get a lower low. That scenario exactly happened. We have also a loss of momentum on the MACD signal line, lower high in the RSI as well, pulling back down. Now I'm watching to see if this is going to turn into a V-shaped recovery or if there's going to be some consolidation right along this 365 price area. And Tech stocks, a little bit of a shock, right? It's still in the uptrend here. You can see barely this golden cross line is still up. So this is the first major test. The major test that we've had in the past, March 2023, April 2023. So you can see it's possible for the market to survive, but it has to defend this zone. If we lose this zone, it's kind of a yellow flag, yellow light for me that maybe we're not going to bounce up in the near term. Dow Jones, DIA, we're still in the up cross, however, a relative top. Dow Jones not crashed down as much as SPY and QQQ. On the weekly here, we did have a small, it's not quite an evening star, but we had a week of an inside bar here, inside candle, consolidating to the right side. And the MACD histogram did pull back down a little bit. Now we're also seeing, we are seeing the ascending triangle play out. What I'm saying last time is you could pull back all the way down to 340. That will give some oversold conditions, let the market cool off, get some good news, past earnings, and then try to blast to the upside. H4, again, we're still in the up cross on the swing trading time frame. The H1 is, this looks like bought algorithmic. I mean, how perfect can this symmetrical triangle try to get, right? The bulls attempted that. So the measured move right now about 1%, 100 basis points. See if we can get that move. Same triangle with RSI in the middle. It's going to be up to the day traders to really trigger that in the news. But you can see quite a bunch of support to the downside, 345, 340, 333, the resistance 355. Pull up a pivot so you could see some additional resistance here as well. One that I don't look at as much, IWM, the Russell 2000, just had a golden up cross in June 2023. We have had fake outs before, so that's what I'm watching for. Will these EMA supports hold and the top of this symmetrical triangle resistance now is support? 186 area, the pivot right here, a lot of confluence in these indicators. They're all crisscrossing at the same area, 187. See if that can hold. High, low, high, higher, low, and then bounce up to the upside if it's possible. Weekly, this is a psychological type of evening star, not quite textbook, but you can see the rounding action and also right at that 188 level. See if we can bounce off that support. Quickly, let's take a look at gold. Somebody asked me for gold last week, and this is one of those scenarios that played out where it's going to bounce down and fall down to the EMA, right? One of the scenarios I was saying, explained to that person last time, was we're in this downtrend, we have this lower high, but watch out. If it doesn't bounce up, then it's going to go down, and that's what happened. Came down here to 178. Now, if someone's on a swing trading time frame, it did get oversold, but it's still crashing down, and you want to see more evidence of a turnaround. Because if it's just one leg down on the left side, to give an example, the price is on the left side here, right? You want to see it bounce. You want to see it create a higher low or upside down head and shoulders or a double bottom, triple bottom, one of these patterns, and you can see before it breaks out again. Okay, is that happening now? That is not happening now. That's why a little bit more patience. You could get day traders, trying to play their 1 hour moves and scalping on leverage and whatnot. But if you're a swing trader, you want to look for bigger patterns. That's not happening yet, right? Even on the daily, sometimes it takes in this upside down head and shoulders just for a cool off move. Still took about a month, right? So maybe you might have 2 more weeks before the gold price really solidifies into a pattern. And we don't have big MACD histogram on the daily as well. Weekly, we're still pulling down on that lower high. There is some not imaginary, but you could see the level 2 support here at 176. All right, so something you want to watch out for. So bearish scenario, bearish continuation down to 172, and you want to watch out for that because on the weekly, there's a slanted head and shoulders here. Can you see that? And you can see the neckline, which I need to draw here, which we just lost that neckline. So somebody out there, big money bears, they're trying to force us down. They're trying to force the hand of the bulls and take their profit. So let's watch out for that. If this is a measured move in the bearish case, could drop down 6%, down to 618, 165 area, this is where I want to collect some value. SLV silver, same deal. I was saying potentially next week, which is now, is we could have this pullback down and then watch out for some potential upside down head and shoulders action. We do have a bit of a support area right here, about $21. And if that can hold, you can see the MACD starting to build up again and go to the upside. The H4 is already open. So if this holds, you want to watch out for some kind of higher low pattern where it starts to go up, and then you get a little pop up for some easy profit. Still maintaining, watching out risk, because in the longer term, there is still the opposite there, right? So the support, the opposite price pattern, just with like gold. So in the short term, we might see a bounce up. In the very, very long term, I'm talking about like 1 or 2 years from now, the stock market continues to go up. Watch out for silver pulling back down. UNG, we did have some interesting, we had an attempt at a short squeeze, but now it looks like the ascending triangle is actually coming true for natural gas. So maybe finally we're starting to see some signs that maybe this might be the breakout. We've had almost 3 fake outs before, so just watch out for that. But if it's going to pull back down and we hold the support level above 730 and then bounce up, there could be a nice little relief play here, right? Because this is starting to look almost like an upside down head and shoulders with a neckline on natural gas, and 25 to 30% is the upside target, 935. UNG does not always respond to technicals, so I'll just leave it there. Now on US oil, it is starting to golden up cross. However, there's some bearish divergence that's happening on the MACD histogram. You can see losing momentum here, losing momentum. We're in the overbought double RSI, double top territory here in the overbought. It's just tapped below 75. We have a golden up cross. So I could see this pull back maybe to 70 or 68 before establishing a new level of support and then continuing to the upside afterwards. So watch out for that US oil. I'm not seeing any requests for questions. If you have any, let me know before I move on. All right, so some of the earnings that's happening right now for this upcoming week, Home Depot. Home Depot looks very similar to the Russell 2000. All I'm going to say is if you look at some Bollinger Band, it can crash down on bad earnings all the way down to 314 or 300. And if we want to try to estimate, the Fibonacci extension, for example, and we can see 350 to 363 could be that top side target. So just watch out for that. Just keep an eye. When I say watch out for it, I'm saying put on a watch list or something if you're a trader or a investor, because sometimes you can get some easy gains if you're just at the right place, right time after you do some basic charts. If you're trying to catch a trade. Because there is a little bit of this ascending triangle long term that's happening. Now, my preferred entry is always down here, 270, and support areas for a long like this. And you have a much more better risk reward scenario that way. If somebody's trying to play a breakout, the stop loss is pretty tight. It's only about 2-3% below there. Walmart's been in a nice uptrend for almost a year now, with retail sales basically recovering, and Walmart price is at an all-time high right now, 161 on the weekly, and the daily is still an up cross. It's not quite into overbought territory, not quite poking out outside of a Bollinger Band second deviation either. High low, high low, high low. It's still seeking its higher highs right before earnings. So to estimate some basic forecast target, we can see 169 to 176 if they have good earnings on their profits. If not, last time they had some, let's see if we can find a spot where they had bad earnings. If they had bad earnings like EPS, it could drop 5, 10, 15% in one day or 2 days. So watch out for that. Where is that here? 10% would take us down to 145. Right, so these are the two areas. You could also know if there's a problem if we lose that dotted trend line on either side, resistance or support. So I do not condone playing earnings. It's more on for like advanced or professional side, or somebody's like an options trader to reduce their risk. Or if you do play earnings, must have stop loss, risk reward ratio, and no gambling out there, no gambling. All right, Cisco, we also see here in the uptrend as well. Now I'm starting to see a little bit of this wedge pattern all the way back to this gap. Very interesting. All the way back to the gap, right at this resistance double top. So you can see if it had bad earnings, somewhere my target around $49. And I'm not just calling random targets, because after the earnings, sometimes it could really pull back down very, very far, right? If they have bad revenue, they once had a gap down of almost negative 20% in one day. Sometimes it happens in 10 minutes, 15 minutes. If you just watch earnings, sometimes that happens. So I like support plays or below support plays. Okay, worst case scenario, some catastrophe happens and then you have a downtrend. So I do want to point out XLK, for example, the tech ETF. Turn off all the indicators and draw manually. First off, we lost the trend. If somebody asked me, well, how could I have known that tech something bad's going to happen? All I have to do is draw one or two lines, right? Make it easy. Go on a line chart, draw a support line, draw a resistance line, and now I know if we lose that, there's a problem. Lose the support area, there's a problem here. Happens on crypto, happens on tech all the time. Just study the charts enough. There is a top that occurs. So high, low, high, low, high. Where's the higher low? We can have it anywhere at 162, 150 even, weekly. You can see we hit this all-time high. That's why it's too high right now. Too high, too fast. So that's just some education right there on trend lines and support and resistance, so you understand with a little bit of indicator help. I mean, we could have called, it's basically easier to call that instead of just looking at price blind. One more, XLF. XLF right at this resistance area, so I'll just watch out for that. Sometimes when XLF does not penetrate to the upside, maybe it turns to a double top, triple top, head and shoulders. This was the regional banking crisis, so I don't think it's going to really crash back, capitulation down that hard. But you can get some retracement down on the price, 382 or 50% on Fibonacci. So we can see here, it's trying to approach that 236. You could pull back down a little bit more if it doesn't hesitate. But this could also be a consolidation pattern if you know your price patterns. It could be a little flag and then break out to the upside as soon as there's good news. Okay, I'm not seeing any requests or questions, so I'll just move on to cryptocurrencies. Hello and welcome everyone to my live stream. Now we move on to the cryptocurrency section. I am streaming live on TradingView, YouTube, Twitch. We have a Twitter X group as well if you'd like to join, follow, and support on any of those platforms. So with crypto, what's going on right now? We're still in this short-term uptrend. Let me go ahead and just redraw. Very simple. First off, what we need to do is look long-term. Turn off all the indicators, go on a daily chart, zoom out as far as you can on your chart. On my chart, I could go back about 4 years. Now, very simple. From last week's educational exercise, remember, we're talking about trend. Is it going uptrend? Is it going downtrend? Or is it going a little bit sideways right now? Which way are we going? Which way are we going right now? We'll talk about longer term trends. Okay, so the short-term answer right now is we're going sideways right now. We were in an almost uptrend for the first 3 to 4 months of this year and then turned into a sideways pattern consolidation because of all the lawsuits. Now we zoom in, we understand that. Draw a resistance pattern right here, resistance line right here. Where's that 1.27 trillion? That's where we're at. Draw a trend line on the bottom side, connecting our support. And somebody might say, wait a second, no FOMO charts. Isn't this a ascending triangle pattern? Isn't it ascending triangle pattern? And my answer is yes, it is. So that's why, right? I try to teach people to not look at candles like this. If you're on like a 1 minute or even on daily, if you're zoomed in too far, there's no context. What does this mean? What does this mean? Right? It doesn't mean much. You guys zoom out. You guys zoom out, reset your chart, reset it. You see more information as an investor and say, we're actually in a consolidation. If you want to even get more correct, if we use the close price, it's actually more of a symmetrical triangle, almost a little wedge in there. But I'm going to leave the larger price pattern here as an ascending triangle. So a potential 65% breakout if it breaks out and holds above here in the 2.1 trillion. That's my target, bull target. Now, the support levels, I like these supports down here. Remember, that's where we want to enter into long trades. So I'm very closely watching this 1.08. Even better, if you have a TradingView account, just set an alert. Set an alert, hover your crosshair here on the charts, Alt-A, and then we put in an alert here. I'm just going to say potential support on total, long entry. And once I enter that in, right, notifications, there's all these options you could choose. Only thing is that what changed for me is that alerts are now a gray color. They used to be red color, which I kind of liked more, but it's gray color now. But it still works. All right, let's put another one up here. Every time, potential long breakout. And now you don't have to watch the market every 5 minutes. You just need to make sure your TradingView on your computer or your phone or email is able to trigger and send you these alerts. And once there's a major move, you'll know. For me, though, I like to get in even earlier. I'm already in crypto right now. I have a portfolio, investment portfolio, just waiting to see. We're going up, we're going down based on the news. Now, on the weekly, it's a little bit different story on the weekly. This can be interpreted in two ways. I'll start the bullish way first, where you have an upside down potential head and shoulders here with the neckline. If that breaks out to the upside, again, another 50 to 65% breakout, which is my target I showed earlier. However, if this turns into a lower high, like tech stocks, like QQQ, we saw what happened on Apple and NASDAQ, then it's going to crash. Crash down to where? Support down on the downside, 1.02 trillion, 968 billion, 874 billion, those levels. We can also Fibonacci that if you want a quick visual. You can see the 50% is 1 trillion or just below that 950 billion area. Okay, just want to watch out for that. Very, very critical. We do not lose the 1 trillion or at least the 1.06 trillion market cap. That would be a big problem. All right, let's go to Bitcoin futures here. Sometimes we find some additional clues on Bitcoin futures because it's the CME and you have gaps up here. I like to see a little bit more hidden. Gaps is a free indicator from TradingView that they released, I believe, this year or last year. It's very helpful on stocks or any assets that have gaps because it shows you the resistance and support levels in these gap downs in the price. I just changed the color to something I can see easily. And if we draw this support trend line, you could see, wait a second, this is not so much a ascending triangle itself on Bitcoin, or on the daily at least. It's more of a rising wedge. So Bitcoin itself, almost a parallel channel. Bitcoin itself needs to hold the support right where this blue line is, the X is. Where's that $28,000 Bitcoin? Because you can see, rewinding in the past, every time this year we've hit a support level, held, bounced up. Right here, V-shaped recovery, held, March, bounced up. June, same thing, we faded back down here, had some Bitcoin ETF news, bounced up. But then did we rally to the top of the channel? No, that's how I know there's a problem right now. SEC lawsuit, Binance layoffs, Coinbase lawsuit, CFTC. If you rewind to the beginning of the stream, there's that 4 or 5 pieces of crypto news. Okay, but in the long term, I'm still at this point in time, on this day, with the current information I know in my mind and in front of my eyes right now, we're still in an uptrend. Okay, it's at risk, however. It's yellow light right now. This could go very wrong very quickly. Why? There's 2 reasons why. In the bullish scenario, it's still in the short-term 6-month uptrend, high, low, but we have not hit the higher high. So the uptrend is subdued and it's consolidating right now to the side. There is a bearish pattern. The flip side is there's a head and shoulders slanted with the neckline, which is our support, and it's right on the neckline. As soon as we lose that, bears are going to try to attack this as hard as they can, because that is a 40% potential, or 20, so about 30% down target to about 17.5K on crypto, Bitcoin, which would take us back down to like almost the beginning of this year lows. Nobody wants to see that if that happens, but we're right at that neckline. So it's up to the bulls and up to the, big money, the investments, Wall Street, Bitcoin investors, traders. If you're a Bitcoin bull, if you're a miner as well, you want to defend this level, and we need this to rally. Just whatever the news is, technicals, whatever, needs to go up to 30,000, 35, and 40,000. We need to bounce off of this level. Very, very important if you're a bull. Because you can kind of see a little bit, this was shorting, we went sideways and then shorted down, but we see a little bit of this inside bar. So sometimes this is a secret signal that the shorts might have some hesitation and weakness, but a stronger bull signal, we need a hammer candle or a bullish engulfing candle. We just need big green. Big green for the rest of August and September, and go all the way up to 30, 40,000. And that's probably going to be related to some kind of SEC lawsuit activity. Okay, so my bull target, I'll just leave it, has to be up here, 43,000, and then the intermediate target of 32,000. We need to break those levels, either upside or downside. I don't personally want crypto to go to downside, but the market's not under my single control. Okay, I'm just saying is every time it gets to this support, it should hold, but sometimes it doesn't hold. That's why. If this is the one time it's not going to hold, then beware, everybody. You heard it here first. All right, let's go here. Moving on. Let me check questions. Unless see any questions. All right. Let's go to Bitcoin dominance to see what's going on here with the Bitcoin dominance. We are still in the uptrend on Bitcoin dominance. This is good. Use an extended trend line. Connect that. You can see very, very closely riding that trend line to the upside. In the golden cross, we could even come down here to about 47.61%. High, low, high, low, high, low. And then one more. Right? So that's why crypto, it's not over until there's a huge crash, basically. There's still a chance. Still a chance, even though there's higher risk than 3 months ago. Now, onto the rapid fire round. Let's go to Ethereum. Ethereum, we're still in this uptrend. However, it's starting to symmetrical triangle. See if we can hold that support, but a sim triangle right here is plus or minus 20% on the investment scale. Still in this uptrend, but Bitcoin, it really needs to survive here. Binance Coin still flagging down here near this high level of support above 240. So my upside target of 290 still stands, and my support risk of 208 still stands. Binance still under their lawsuit, trying to fix their lawsuit problems here in USA with the SEC. So if we lose that, you'll know. Once we lose 230 to the downside, we're in big trouble on Binance Coin. Solana, slightly different. Solana in a bit of a ascending triangle, and this is why I have this drawn here, is if somebody, this is on the list of SEC flagged risk coins, but it is trying to create some kind of ascending triangle here, and if that breaks out, Again, you still have that 65% target up here, but I prefer support entries down here. I don't like to play breakouts unless there's a huge amount of news. Cardano. Cardano's still surviving here. The only thing I'm noticing on Cardano is, yes, it is death cross on the weekly. However, there is this level of support above 25 cents. If this turns into Cardano survives, turns into a W pattern, double bottom, huge potential gains here. Huge potential gains, like 140% plus to 240% if the coin survives. There's a big if. The only thing right now is you have a little bit of MACD building here, and you have some of this support holding on a weekly time frame. Pulling back, that's normal. That's normal. It's consolidating right now. So you'll know the two ways to play Cardano, even though it's a flagged SEC coin, is either play the support down here on a long, educational, this is not financial advice, paper trading example, right? Trying to play support down here and get better risk reward rather than playing. If somebody buys up here, you can see the risk reward is much larger. 40% downside. Here, if I just buy randomly today, could be about 20 to 30% downside, but that's half the risk on a smaller position size. So that's something to watch out for. XRP still in its uptrend. It's consolidating back down to 63-cent range. It could come down further down to 54 cents. But as long as it finds some level of support that it can bounce up to the upside, that's where we want to see for XRP. Now, we are seeing some lawmakers, judges in the USA, they're trying to overturn the XRP is not a security lawsuit. So there are active government forces in America, lawmakers, that are literally trying to make XRP illegal again. Does that make sense? So just that's kind of the situation we're in right now with XRP. So if it pulls back down, that's fine. It's kind of normal, right? You can see it's almost like Cardano. Cardano's like here. So if it happens to survive, that's what I'm saying. You get a big W bounce and you get a little pop up to the upside. Little by meaning 50 to 100%. So crypto, that's what it is. Okay, AVAX, another one of these SEC flag coins. By the way, if you want to know the list, I would recommend going to coinmarketcap.com. Very popular website for many years. And there is on the website somewhere, let's see, or it used to be here. I'm looking on a different screen right now. You can probably find it. It's there somewhere. Okay, they had that list, so it still exists. It's just not on the front page anymore. But I would recommend trying to research there. Maybe I'll find it and show it next week. But that's the list I usually refer to. It's very easy. It has like 68 coins, so you don't have to memorize it. Now, AVAX, you want to watch out here in terms of the support level in 1050. Same deal. There is risk here. The coin is very high on the upside, but there is a potential level of support above $11 if that survives. So a bullish scenario would be bounce up to $26. Everyone's going to love that. But that's probably if the SEC lawsuit loses. You can also see here some kind of psychological head and shoulders, which would basically crash it down to negative 90% or more. I want to watch out for that. DOT, these are all very similar. That's why I draw this educational risk reward, is that you have to understand in crypto, the ultimate stop loss or the ultimate fail of crypto is going to zero. Okay, I mean, the crypto goes to zero, exchange goes to zero, trading or investing is illegal, goes bankrupt, there's fraud or whatever, FTX, Luna, Terra, think of those, Celsius, think of that. And it goes to zero and the investor loses all their money. That's the risk. That's the ultimate risk of crypto. So even stocks and crypto, they're risky assets. Crypto's more risky. The digital asset. The only reason I like these charts visually, I'm not saying I like this coin or project, I'm just saying I like the charts, is that instead of at point A, we're at point B, which is this like point C, the support level, is that it's already crashed down negative 90%. So the only, remain, it could keep going down to nothing basically, but I'm just saying at this moment in time, well, it did crash down to almost the starting point, almost. So that's why I like these charts a little bit better than if you were to ask me 1 year ago. I would say it's too high 1 year ago. Dogecoin, symmetrical triangle flag, but there was some news about the Doge, one of the co-founders, shading Bitcoin and saying some bad things. But I understand why. I'm not saying it's right. That's just what's happening right now is when things go wrong in crypto, people start fighting. People start blaming each other. If you live through the 2018 Bitcoin Cash Civil War, I like to call it, right? That coin split and those two sides were fighting each other so hard on public Twitter. It was just hard to watch, right? And it crashed the whole entire market. So that's what usually happens in Bitcoin. When things go bad, people start arguing with each other on social media. It's just a sign. Now it's still in this death cross and Dogecoin bouncing off this 6-cent range. Dogecoin, if it wants to survive, needs to keep uptrending and hit this 10-cent range and break out of this symmetrical triangle. I'm on a weekly chart, by the way. Now, Shiba Inu is different. I am holding Shiba Inu for full transparency. And again, I like this project, even though it's kind of a meme coin. But the price did hit where? The price hit the bottom. Starting price. So once it hit that, I know as an investor, okay, if there's some kind of coin or project that I like or a stock that I like, and it's good company for the most part, and it hits the starting price, that's an automatic buy for me. It's easy. Don't have to think about it too much unless the project is trash, garbage. In this case, it's arguable, right? Because the meme coin doesn't really do anything, but we're not talking about Apple company stock. But for me, I said, well, what's the risk here? This exact mental process I used. When I saw this candle and it pulled back down to this 500, 600 range, I say, okay, all right. I know we're in the support level area here. It could keep going lower. If it goes lower, maybe I'll buy some more. But I like this coin because it's a meme coin, it's volatile, and it's hitting the low starting spot of the price. So then how much am I going to buy? I logged in, and Bitcoin is on the rise as well. And so I bought this coin, and now I'm up a nice 67% on my investment. Very simple, but I had the stop loss in there. My stop loss is in there. Okay, somewhere over here. I didn't even need it. But for now, as an investor, right, I just might inch that up. Might inch that up a little bit, right, to make sure I'm not going to lose. Last week, we're talking about managing risk. And so if sometimes it goes high and then it crashes back down. So then there's no point to hold it, watch it go up, crash back down, and then wish you sold back here. No. As a trade, it happened 2 times already. So it's going to happen again. I don't want that to happen again. So you have to take a profit. Sometimes, though, you get the big one. The big rally. The moon rally. That's what I'm talking about. That might happen. How do you know it's going to happen? Well, it needs to break out, hit this 1500, pull back to 11, and then never come back down. That's how you know we're in the big rally. For now, in profit on SHIB. Now, if somebody's saying, well, that's you, no FOMO charts. What about me? Well, okay, this is paper trading example, education, right? In terms of what a lot of stuff I say on the stream is not financial advice. It's for your own paper trading education and where you could practice. Okay, you could practice here in the trading panel. Just make an account, connect your paper trading, and then make all the mistakes here and learn in here where you don't lose any money, real money. You just put in the time to learn and train. But if I saw this right now, I would say, I don't really want to buy this right now because last time you could go a little higher, could flag and then pop up to the upside and then pierce. And then there's going to be the real test of that resistance up here. So I believe we're going to get maybe one more pullback and a bounce. You get this bearish divergence and then it will pull back on you. Or it could just skyrocket to the upside, which I'm going to be happy about that. But right, you could use the charts to try to figure out your plan, your strategy, and what are you going to do here. instead of just randomly chasing any green numbers on the chart. I don't care about that. I care about consistent wins and consistent profits and managing my risk and my principal. All right. A lot of just knowledge, info, and education right there. And again, if you're watching this and you have any question or request at all, let me know. Let me know. I'm going to log off soon. All right, Shibu. Let's keep going here. MATIC. I like to do the big name coins because it's a little bit safer for people, especially beginners. Like, I don't want people to jump in right into the most volatile meme coin of all time, because then that's more gambling, right? Once you have technical strategies that work, then play those strategies. Doesn't matter what other people say. So MATIC, right, pulling this down in this downtrend. We were in the uptrend and then we lost it, right? These yellow lines, rising wedge pattern. Sometimes the support doesn't hold. That's what I'm saying on Bitcoin. Watch out for that, because on Bitcoin, if we don't hold the support, this is going to happen. The pullback down. Okay? And that's catastrophic. If it survives, then good. The only thing on MATIC I want to pull out here is watch out for the higher low. This could be good and a potential reversal. I looked at about, I don't know, 1,500 crypto charts before this, and there's some cryptos that they established the higher low and they have like 100% gain. That's the kind of things you want to watch out for. The upstairs pattern. Remember, trend. I talk about it almost every stream. Are we going uptrend, or is it going downtrend, or is it going sideways? If something is going sideways, it's not really the greatest setup. If it's uptrending, you just get in there. Right? Just get in there somewhere. You just don't want to be at the top and then you lose. Top buyers, if you're a long, almost guarantee they're going to lose every single time. So because this has already crashed down, I know it hit an oversold level. Okay, it's bouncing off of that, trying to establish a higher low. All right, zoom in a little bit more. Still in the downtrend here, but you can start to connect and see. Right, so it's below that. It's below that. So until it breaks up and starts a new uptrend, I probably don't want to get in here yet, just yet. I want to watch the support low at 66, watch the 71 level. You can put 2 alerts horizontally like that. Very simple. You can, if you're very brave, you can put a buy order way down here, right? Just, there's a lot of things somebody can do instead of just reacting to their phones. The watch list. Cosmos, still in the downtrend, about to lose the support, so watch out for that. $7 is the next target on the downside. You can see this is downtrending right now. As a long, this is not going up right now as an investor. So this is going down right now. Where do I want to buy? Yes, it might be too early to buy in those types of RSI oversold plays. You want to wait for a big, big crash down. It's not even oversold right now. So for me, I'll wait for this. 2 ways to play this. You're going to higher low this, get in, and then watch it ride to 12. Or if it crashes on you, you got to wait as long as possible, maybe down to $6 area, and then try to re-enter for that trade. Educational. Near, like I said, near, again, trying to hold this double bottom right here. On the big bull target, this thing could go 500%. But it has to hold this yellow line. You can see it's not the bottom yet. The bottom is way down here at 53 cents. 53 cents right here. Low, high, low, high. If it's lower lows, then this target is, this trade is canceled, and I would try to look at it down here. So this is already looking like a giant head and shoulders is what I'm saying. The crypto market is in a yellow light, yellow flag right now. If it loses the neckline on a lot of these altcoins, including Bitcoin, there could be a big problem, catastrophe that can happen. We need to hold that support level, and buyers need to come in with confidence on good news, good projects, to try to buy that to the upside. Litecoin had a sell-off after its sell the news event, which has happened before on its happening. All we have to do here is draw the simple trend line and see, connect as much as you can. And again, even Litecoin at risk right now. Support right here, 75 cents or $75. We would love 75 cents, $75. The fact that this is going sideways, that is not good. Okay, it would be good if it was higher low uptrend. Then we'd all be excited. One of these times, it might lose this. I don't want this to happen, but it might lose this. And then once it downtrends, game over for that rally. Uni, interesting, isn't a descending triangle, but bounced out of there. So if this is the real one, that would be nice. And we have 2 targets to the upside. Trying to hold the support of 412. Chain link in a type of parallel channel, almost. This is basically a larger weekly flag. Zoom out a little bit. You can see it's not even the lowest price of all time, but it's hovering around that 0.88. And from the top to right now, it's 86% off. So as long as it holds here. Now, I wouldn't recommend buying here unless we know there's some kind of breakout attempt that's going to happen. But if it pulls back down, this 520 is a nice level of support here on Link. Tron area. We had this consolidation area of this descending triangle, but it actually held that support. This is what I'm saying. If cryptos are crashing, but it holds that level. It holds that level. Try to break out. You could see, visually see the uptrend happening. You just got to get in there. Trying to get in right now. There's a little bit of bearish divergence forming here. This is too late. It's starting to pull back a little bit. So crypto, with technical analysis on crypto, timing is everything. Timing is everything. Can't wait to see the full structure. Once you start to see inklings of that structure, then you get in. Make the profit. Then ride the stop loss up. Okay? So investing right now, excuse me, people ask me, should I buy crypto right now? Should I buy crypto right now? In my mind, I'm thinking, well, we should have all bought crypto. Everyone who asked me that should have bought October, November, December 2022. Then people will be making money. But what happens is, this happens on all assets. Doesn't matter. Asset. Right? It happens on stocks, cryptos, Forex, ETFs. Is after it goes up a lot, the average person sees that and tries to enter at the end. Okay? I'm talking about as an average person. Somebody not a trader or investor, is because that's just a natural effect. There's a lot of green on the charts for a long period of time. Then what I call like casual investors or just casual citizens in the world will say like, oh, it's been going up for a year. Maybe it's going to keep going up. But then you get caught up in, say, Apple. See this? Apple. It's been going up for so long, the stock, going up for 6, 7, 8 months. And then finally, right at the top here on August 2023, bad earnings, then we have a crash. Anybody entering right there just lost 8, 9%. Right? So same thing with crypto is if it's uptrending, just get in there. That's what I learned. That's what I learned. Put on some risk. If it's uptrending, don't be afraid. Put on some risk, put a stop loss, and then just let it go as an investor. Paper trade or for me, it's my personal account is real money. But for paper trading, education people, anybody watching this, is you understand if you just turn off all the news and stare at the chart long enough and study it, then you understand there's spots to get in here. Optimal spot here. Another optimal spot here. Optimal spot here, double bottom. Why? There's a pattern. Triple bottom, double bottom, V-shaped recovery, breakout, trendline breakout, higher low, support levels all the way up, golden cross, right? There's a lot of things that are signaling there was time to get in here. So same thing with cryptos. When you look at any single crypto, is don't be the last person in the trade. Whatever you're doing, you just don't want to be the last person. Last person, if you're casual, if you don't like looking at charts every day, every week, there are optimal spots. Buying and selling based on technical analysis. So same thing with Tron is if I'm looking at, let's say, point A, B, or C, where do I want to buy as a long? Obviously point B area. It was more scary, more risky down there, but had the best risk reward. And anybody buying Tron down there in this SEC listed coin is up 62%, just like my SHIB trade, Shiba Inu. Right? So it's just something that's what I learned as a trader, investor. You got to overcome that and understand. Step one, when you're here on the charts on TradingView, what are you doing here? Are you long? Are you short? Are you a bull or are you a bear? You need green, you need red, right? Which direction are you first? then what time frame are you? Are you a trader, investor, a day trader, scalper? What are you? Right? If you're just beginner, study, trading view, study paper trading, books, YouTube, Google, articles on trading view, everything. I did that for years. And then when you start finding a setup, for example, when I start seeing like this, oh, it's going down. Okay, but it's approaching this support area. Now, keep in mind this is SEC flagged coin, but still, if you're crypto, sometimes danger is the play, right? Risk and fear is when things are usually cheaper. Then I would say, okay, I see this building. Maybe I would buy here just like in SHIB. And where's my stop loss? I see the candle body wicks. I might need like a 10 to 12% stop loss. So I might use only 10% capital. So then I'm risking about 1% or less of that. Is 10% of 10% of my whole account. If I did my math right, should be 1%, right? And then you'll be up 70 or 50%, right? So that's the risk of crypto. Could it have failed and went down? Then yes, then I only lost 1% of my account or my trading account. No big deal. That's the game of trading, right? But understanding charts first of, is it going up? Is it going down? Or where is it going south? What is going on here? You have to get good at that first. And then managing risk on the order panel. That's like a whole crash course in 5 minutes. So hopefully somebody learned something from that. All right, Bitcoin Cash. Now, call this basing on Bitcoin Cash, and they had a nice breakout up very, very nicely. Now it's flagging right now. Is it over? I don't think it's over because we had a nice pop up, and if this is a true trend change, this should pull back to wherever it's going to pull back, and then we'll try to get going again if Bitcoin rallies. That's a big if. So if I do this right now, could even pull back down Fibonacci down to the 50% area, like 203 or 171. And then I bet you some value bulls are going to try to enter here for the next setup. I'm telling setups for the future, not about what should somebody do right now, right? Or like what in the past. Right now, I'm saying if you're an investor, if I saw this, try to wait as long as possible because let it fade down. And then once you see the breakout above there, you might see a little bit of continuation unless there's a huge crash. Ethereum Classic. Ethereum Classic, why I like this is you could see the yellow line, the base. So when we had this one flash crash on every single crypto, I picked my portfolio and I fired. I bought everything that I needed to, right? So everything right here is, as an investor, this is normal. This is normal. Now, I would have liked to have a nice rally like this where you're gonna buy and it's gonna take off in the moon, but this is not 2021 anymore. 2023. Where we have massive lawsuits in America against almost every single major crypto exchange. And this is not 2017, 18, and 19 anymore. I wish we could go back to those days. It's wonderful. The trading was phenomenal. I remember certain weekends we had Raven Coin go 400% in 2 days, 1 day. That was like the best for crypto trading. But now, there's considerable amount of risk. So managing risk and picking your projects very carefully. If you're trying to be an investor. Now, if someone's trying to be a scalper or a trader, I mean, there's tons of meme coins every week. Going all-time highs, right? Or rally. ALGO, one of these SEC listed coins, look at this price, right? All the way back down on the support level. This SEC flagged coin. And yes, it is down negative 96%. So who knows? Will ALGO survive? Nobody really knows that. But all I can say when I look at this chart is at the lowest price on this chart. It is. Yes. That's why. Very interesting. Someone's trying to just catch even just a little bit of a leg up. Sometimes you can get a nice 100% return possible. But is it uptrending? No. It's still on the downtrending left side. So you can have one fake rally, dead cow bounce, and a huge dump, and then that's the bottom. So watch out for that. I'm just saying, it's in the area down here. It's in the zone. So XLM Stellar is very different. I remember about a month ago, almost a month and a half ago, I was teaching, telling people, I said it maybe 2 or 3 streams in a row. Watch out for XLM, everybody. That the GXLM, the XLM stock ETF already rallied the 200+%, but the real XLM did not rally yet, and that's why I drew this box here. And then we finally got the rally of 100 to 50%, 50 to 100%, right? So is this over? No, I don't think this is over because we had the trend line breakout, went sideways, the first pop up. This is shorts covering their positions, liquidations for the shorts. Now we have to establish a higher low and try to continue to the upside, assuming Bitcoin doesn't crash. So Stellar trying to regain its trend change here on a weekly. I like this. I like that we're not going down anymore. I like that, right? It's going up. Okay, maintain it. Fine. That's fine. Pull back down here to 12 cents and try to get the rally going. VeChain, unfortunately, is still in a downtrend. Not much going on here in this old coin. But we can see there's a little bit of this support level here above the 1522 range. And it's starting to kind of tighten up a little bit. So bearish scenario is if this thing falls below 1200, it's big trouble. It could crash all the way down to nothing, 200. But if it holds that, you might get like an XLM type of scenario where this double bottoms and then if it bounces up to the upside. So just something to keep an eye out for. VeChain, one of the old coins. Mana is very similar as well, holding about 33 cents. Filecoin, see if it can hold that higher low. HBAR, you could see, trying to see if they could hold this higher low here. It did seem to bounce, so you might see continuation on HBAR all the way up to the 10-cent range. All right, got to wrap up here. Just hit the hour mark. I'm not seeing any requests or questions today. So let's just go ahead and rapid fire some of the grayscale crypto ETFs down here, like BITO. Just double top below $17. One thing to watch out for is the opposite, the BITI, BITI ProShares short Bitcoin ETF, is that actually has some bullish divergence, which means you might see Bitcoin come down. Right? On these Bitcoin ETFs, it's much more easier to see. You turn up a gap, so you can see it's just getting stuck right below here. Might see a little bit of consolidation pullback. So GBTC is not suffering as much, but you can see the double top here and the pullback down on the MACD histogram. So this is the GXLM I'm talking about. GXLM had a huge rally, 400%, and then it's pulled it back about 50% down. I don't think that's over, but it's not the greatest spot to enter into right here. So it's risky right now. So to close things out for crypto, if you just entered in about recently, is crypto, there's still ongoing SEC lawsuits. And the charts, the only reason I like charts are some of these coins and altcoins bounced off of their lows, like 99 or 98% off. So if it's not going to go any lower, it's probably going to bounce up, and that's what's happening right now. I actually hold HZen as well, a little bit of HZen, and I'm up nicely in this profit zone right here. It's like a less than $1 coin. This is a penny stock, basically. So interesting, just on the principle of, well, if it's not going lower, maybe it's going to go up now, right? Because we had this breakout, very suspicious. Finale is on Bitcoin. Let's close with Bitcoin again. Just watch out for Bitcoin, everybody. If we lose the support, we can have big problems here in the rally. If the rally fizzles out, if the rally is about to end this year, you're hearing it here first, right? High, low, not a higher high. Trying to establish a higher low. If this does not bounce up this year, we're in big trouble on crypto. Big trouble. Because then the SEC will try to fire and sue everybody they can even harder, and then it'll crash the price back down. So there's risk here. Yellow light, everybody. Head and shoulders, bearish pattern, yellow light. If we lose that $28,000 to $25,000 Bitcoin level and we start downtrending to $20,000, crypto rally's over for this year. Only way it can survive is all bulls need to buy, buy, buy. Bitcoin, altcoins, all the news. Bitcoin bulls need to release it now over the next 4 months. Breakout, we need this breakout above 30 to 40,000 to maintain a healthy uptrend, to try to get to 50,000 again. All right, everybody, thank you so much. That's going to do it for today's live stream. I know I talked a lot, but I like to cram in as much knowledge, information, education as possible. If you have a request, let me know on next week's live stream or in the YouTube comments. I do check that before I start if anybody has a question. So if you like this stream, if you just want to support my channel, keep the ideas flowing, the streams going, go and give me a follow. I would appreciate that on TradingView, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter X as well. Thank you for watching. Hope you have a nice trading week and investing week, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.